Hello, everybody. You're very welcome to this special video. Today, you're watching this video because you have received, maybe as a gift, or you bought for yourself, the new Moon print box, which contains four limited edition prints, and it's about meditating with the moon and connecting to the moon. So I thought it would be nice to have something more in depth than I could fit in a little box. So I decided to do a video, and I was thinking who would be the best person to interview, and the very person that came up straight away was Karianne Stenshagen, who is a Norwegian astrologer, and she is just wonderful. She works with the feminine energy, with the goddess, with the archetypes and the moon phases and the menstrual cycle, and she's just a font of wisdom and just a beautiful soul, and I'm really, really happy to have her here to share our wisdom. We're going to just have a conversation really about the moon and how we both work with it. So you're very welcome, Karianne.
Well, thank you. That was a touching introduction.
But yeah, so the moon, I've been working with the moon, I think intuitively, probably all my life, but not really knowing what I was doing. And certain times of the month, I would feel a certain way. Sometimes I need to rest. Sometimes I'm bouncing with energy. And I didn't quite understand it until I began to connect with the moon consciously. And you probably has that been your experience too?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of people listening, you find that too. And, I think learning more about this ancient practice is just really valuable in terms of what we can achieve in life, in terms of our manifestation, in terms of guarding our energy and using it in the best possible way and in alignment with the natural cycles. We're pulled by it.
Yeah. And because I think living according to the moon cycle or in harmony with the moon cycle, it helps to connect with our natural rhythm. And like you say, most of us, I guess we expect to have a lot of energy all the time. And those days when we're tired, we feel really flat. I guess it's like we feel, oh my God, what's wrong with me? I'm on the wrong track. And we expect to be like full productivity all the time. And that's not natural, like the season of the year. So I guess a lot of us has become cut off from our natural rhythm, and that's why we also have all these diseases. And I know that from my own body, how it's been cut off from my natural rhythm.
Mm-hmm. And it's so we put so much pressure on ourselves then to kind of perform in this very yang industrial society that, to go to work every day. And I often feel really sorry for my daughter. She's only a teenager and she's beginning her menstrual cycles, and there's some days where I want to say stay in bed.
Yeah.
Don't go to school today. And I do give the odd duvet day, but at the same time you've got to be out in the world, and this year it's probably not going to be as often the duvet days. But and the idea of the red tent years ago, that women were protected and held and looked after and nourished during this time. What would be I suppose it's bringing it into our lives, isn't it? Ourselves, self-parenting and self-nurturing.
Yeah, definitely. And you bring up this red tent, and this was a practice in earlier times, and in earlier times in our history, we had times that were more matriarchal. Mm-hmm. So the feminine was more honored, the natural cycles were more honored. So, and we were more community oriented. So what was normal was that women were bleeding on the new moon. Mm-hmm. So on the new moon, they were going into so-called red tents, and they were free from all the domestic, housekeeping, and they were, their intuition was really honored. So they were getting insights, from for the whole community, where to hunt, or, where danger was, and, getting important dreams. And so now it's when we bleed in our menstrual cycle, it's I guess we can, of course, we don't have the same, you know, we don't all bleed on the new moon, and we don't have all these red tents. We're not as community oriented, but maybe we can find like an inner red tent to go to when we bleed. Or if you're done bleeding, it's like new moon is that same quality, so we can sort of create our own inner red tent, so we can allow ourselves to rest at that time.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing to do. It's just so powerful. I had something I was going to say and it's gone there. I was listening, but yeah. So like the history of it, it's just so. I mean, there's so many, things that are related to the moon. I was reading a book by an Austrian. I think her grandfather was a farmer,
Okay.
and she went out and she watched him on the land. And she said, "What is his secret? He seemed to know when to go out and he'd harvest the crops." And then she realized, she started looking at the moon and saying, "Oh my God, he's actually picking certain." He would pick, say, I think it was root vegetables when the moon was either waxing or waning, because the juices went down. So the vegetable was more succulent, more nutritious during that time. And then he would pick over the crops like the strawberries and things like that at the opposite time when the sap was rising.
Okay.
And I know there's an Irish thing where you don't cut your hair on a certain phase of the moon. I think that is an Irish thing, probably a Celtic thing. Yeah. Some Hippocrates didn't operate on certain organs of the body during certain moon phases and astrological times. All these things. It's so interesting to look back on.
Yeah.
And it got lost and it got repressed.
Yeah.
The line, with industrial society, I suppose. And you can really feel it coming back into the zeitgeist, into the collective consciousness, that more and more women and indeed men are connecting to the moon and to this natural cycle, which is beautiful to see. And that's why you guys are all here watching us now.
Exactly.
And as you said, Karianne, as well, that we met through a dream group.
We did. Yeah.
And we've had quite phenomenal experiences.
Yeah.
Even in that group, which is done, because Karianne's in Norway, I'm in Ireland. There's people in the group from all over the world. But through the group, we seemed to have shared experiences, even though the community was a virtual one, but that the energy is right there, right? It doesn't matter. And I can even feel it when I'm talking to you, Karianne, now. It's just incredible, and that we're opening up into this other vista where we're so connected in a different type of community, perhaps.
Yeah. And I remember, and like you say, the people listening, if you're listening to this video, I guess, you're also drawn to this, connecting more to this natural cycle. And, talking about this dream group we were in together, because I remember I had a dream about a peacock, and this peacock in my dream was such a character. And I shared this dream, and then you had just painted this beautiful painting of a peacock, and you shared this painting, and you shared about the peacocks, that walks around
outside my studio, in Marley Park.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess that was like our first connection, and then we have had several dreams. So I've had a dream about you, that you're this Teresa from Avalon dream, and I had a dream about you this night. So it's like you, I think you wrote one time, we had this quiet connection.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? And I've had equally dreams. But maybe if you've seen the blog post that Karianne kindly contributed to as well, of a dream that I had with you in it. And it's just remarkable how connected we are.
Yeah.
And just bringing back awareness to that, and to the idea that you're not just floating, walking around here in this single kind of entity that's not connected to anything. We are so connected. I think the more you go on this journey and you begin to connecting back to nature, you start connecting to people, your tribe, you find your tribe finds you in the most miraculous of ways.
And it's so comforting, because it's so easy to feel alone in all this. And I guess a lot of people are alone, especially when you have like interests and practices that,
or against
a lot of people, your family maybe don't understand. And so having...
When I began my spiritual awakening, I was completely alone. just, I knew nobody. My Sunday was spent in Dundrum Shopping Centre. You don't know, Karianne, it's a big mall. So it's like, it's become the Irish church. You know, it's, but that was like, you know, you'd get 2 hours of buying something and then feeling good for 2 hours and then back again. And it was like, none of my friends at the time would have got this at all. They would have gone, I'd probably assigned me into a home, actually.
Yeah.
And much as I love them, and I still, you know, I fell away in various ways, and new people arrived into my life. And some of those people are still there. The people who were the right people who were meant for me were there, and other people just drifted off, and that's okay. That's part of life, and it's part of our journey and our change. And so if you are going through a spiritual awakening or feeling alone, know that it's normal, and that there are people and your tribe are right there waiting for you with open arms, and they are, yeah. And I love that when I know you gather women together as well, Karianne, and when I do that in a physical space and even in a virtual space, the connections that are made, and you know, the lunches are just, the conversations, and it's just so interesting, and it's not, it's just so refreshing. It's not what did you watch on TV last night. It's much deeper, and it's just beautiful, and it's beautiful to witness, and I love part of what I love to do. But but we got on anyway. I've got off track, tangenting. Just back to the moon and to her beautiful phases. And you've received your little boxes of the mini prints. Now these are bigger size prints that I can show you. Now they all feature the full moon, but in my opinion, you can meditate on them at any phase of the moon. It's just really connecting to the moon. I always kind of put the moon in. This piece was based on a dream, so I don't know if you can see. Can you see there the little turtle?
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
But I was swimming with the turtle in the most turquoise of oceans, and he was really playful. He was young and he was playful, and I just really wanted to paint him. And it feels very shamanic, actually, the outside here. But about 3 weeks after I did this painting, a thing popped up on my Facebook feed about Native Americans and how they tell moon stories based on the turtle. And apparently the turtle has 13 ridges on his back.
13?
13. So 13 moons in the year. And he has 28 ridges, or she has 28 ridges around the outside, which is the 28 days between the moons, which is remarkable. And they lay their eggs. You know, when they do that run down the beach, they lay their eggs with the moon. So I was just blown away by the fact that happened, like that I painted the thing with the moon, and like it's just that consciousness that you're not just connected to other people, but to creatures and to just nature, everything. Yeah, everything, literally.
Wow, I didn't know that about the turtle. That's
I didn't either, and that popped up synchronistically on my Facebook. But just just to bring you through the difference. This
please.
Is I called it the divine feminine, and I know, Karianne, you work with the divine feminine, the goddess energy. And it felt like when I did the moon, and it feels like energy shooting out here. And there's a solar disc, so bringing in the masculine quality as well, and that action. That, the feminine quality is receptive, it's the receiving of ideas. But often we can fit with that too much, and we don't take action in the world. But it felt like there's an action coming from a higher source and bringing it down. And the red dot is like the menstrual blood, you know, and it's like it's coming down, this feminine energy being birthed back onto the planet. Wow. That's what it feels like to me. But I mean, you take whatever you feel with the painting as well, because equally, I always think there's a third space between the painter and the people who view it, like a book. Everybody will have a different experience with a piece, and that's equally valid. Just because I say one thing, it doesn't mean anybody else can't think another thing about it. So I'm really open to interpretation of anything. You know, I'm not precious about it. But on that one there, that was called Moon Heart. And I just loved doing that. It was a green heart chakra energy. And it just feels really soothing, feels really natural and organic, and like going with the flow of the seasons. And the moon. And then finally, the print in the box is this lovely lady who she's powerful, isn't she? She's
Yeah.
got the moon. It's manifesting. This
Yeah.
is law of attraction. It's like she's a magnet, and she's bringing down that moon energy, and she's absorbing it, and she's getting ready to bring it out into the world and let it be seen. Finally.
Yeah, stunning.
Yeah.
I love that one. Yes.
Oh, thank you. But there are the four pieces, and as I said, I feel it be intuitive as to how you meditate with them. You know, don't be thinking, oh, she said I have to do this one on the waxing moon and this one. I'm not. You know, you have inner guidance, and the thing with all my work is I want you to trust that as women, to trust our innate wisdom that's held within us. You know, and I think it's beautiful. But we are going to talk about the best times, I suppose, of the month to meditate on the different phases of the moon. And Karianne, you are an expert on this, and you know, just knowing what time. And I think our bodies will feel it naturally when we start to listen. But oftentimes we haven't been listening for probably our whole lives, and we're just separated from it. So it's really guiding us back into the natural rhythm. And as the more you practice, you'll never have to look it up. You'll know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just before we go into that, I love how you presented these different paintings, because I guess like on different days, you know, when you have the four of them, you will be drawn to, you know, suddenly one day you just really feel drawn to one of them, and the energy of one of them.
Yes.
And then, you know, suddenly a week later you feel really drawn to another one. So and I guess, you know, I feel like when we have a painting like that on the wall or a picture, that there is healing for us, like when we absorb it every day.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think, I suppose art that heals the artist heals the viewer, and that's my firm belief. And I've been certainly on my healing journey.
And you're so, I mean, before we go to the different moon phases, I also, you know, follow you on Facebook, and you're also incredible, productive. I mean, you have like an abundance of creativity.
People ask me, they say, how do you get all that done? And I don't ever feel busy, to be quite honest. I never feel busy. I think it is working with this energy and following what you want to do, and as Joseph Campbell said, following your bliss.
Yeah.
And you know, working with that energy and not kind of fighting and doing, I should do this or I should do that. I'm listening more to what I like to do.
Yeah.
And where I like to be, all those things, and that makes just a huge difference. Yeah.
And I guess we become so much more productive that way, and it's not productive in a way that, oh, you know, I have to be productive. It's more like a flow and an abundance in it.
Yeah. There's no feeling of struggle. Yeah. I don't even know the word. It's just it just happens so easy. Like even this morning, our interview, the way it happened with myself and Karianne this morning was very intuitive and the right time, and we just hopped on the call, didn't we? And it's a lovely thing just to follow that kind of inner wisdom, to go, okay, we won't schedule it for next Thursday at 7:30. We'll do it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And, it just feels so right, and
I love that.
And it works, doesn't it?
It does.
You feel that energy, you know. It works.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of you listening, you know, just beginning to trust your inner wisdom, even in the smallest of ways. Just even saying to yourself, you know, you get in the car and you're going home, you say, which way will I drive? Will I go this way or will I go this way? Just listen what feels light and what feels heavy, and start to play with that. Play with your intuition, even on the smallest things. I know you're not going to do it on your big, huge thing straight off. That's a bit too scary, I think, to go. But you know, it will come. And I think just play, have fun with the smaller things, and don't take it too seriously either. You know, just it's having that fun energy as well. It's important with all this. You know.
Yeah, that's a really good advice. Like the turtle.
Yes, yeah, I think that was maybe his medicine as well for me at that time, was to have a little bit of fun. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll move on anyway to the moon phases. I guess we'll start with the new moon.
Yes.
Considering that we're just past one now.
We are, yes. and you might listen to this at a completely different time in the moon cycle. But every moon cycle starts with a new moon, so that's like the first day of the moon cycle. And every month we go through a whole moon cycle, and it's kind of like a psychological death and rebirth that we go through each month. And we go through all these different qualities. Each phase of the moon represents different qualities and has different medicine for us. And we can also say that the different phases of the moon corresponds to the different seasons of the year. So if we talk about the new moon, that's like the same as the winter, the season winter. And on winter solstice, we can say that represents the same energy as the new moon. And before the winter solstice, the sun almost disappears, so it's like we're almost in the dark. It's like a death. And then on winter solstice, we're being reborn. The sun is coming back to us, and this is a time, and as the new moon, to plant seeds. So you can say we're in the dark. So it's a very, and I don't mean dark in a necessarily negative way, but it's dark in a more introvert way. So it's a time to really go deep within and letting go more of the external world. So this is the time I talked about, to do your inner red tent. Mm-hmm. So allow yourself to relax more, really listen to your dreams. Don't have as many plans as you normally have. And so this is the time where you can connect more with your soul self, and also connect with what new wants to come into your life. Maybe there's a new project, maybe there's a new habit. And so new moon is a time for intention. It's a time to plant seeds. But it's not so much about doing all the action. It's more like having an altar space for your intention, more like this spiritual work.
Yes, yeah, which is beautiful to do. And do you think when you connect with the moon that your menstrual cycle will start to come into alignment with the moon?
I mean, I guess it will, but I guess depending on where you are in your life, like you can maybe, like, sometimes you bleed closer to the full moon. Mm-hmm. And this is like when you use this energy more to yourself, that's how I have understood.
Yes, yeah. So if you want to conceive, or is that motherhood is the full moon?
I mean, like, if you're ready to conceive either a baby or a project in the world, sometimes your blood will align with the new moon.
Yeah. Okay, with the new moon. Okay. Yeah.
And I guess it's it's nothing fixed. It can also be different.
Change. I know from the maternity hospitals here that the birth happens. They're much busier on a full moon.
Yeah. Yeah, I've also heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the full moon energy, or the new moon energy, rather. The new moon energy. Which I did, I have to say, spend the day yesterday just in bed. I took a duvet day.
Yeah.
I kind of listened, and but I don't feel too guilty about it either. Whereas
nice.
Before I did. So if you need a duvet day on the that new moon energy, just take the duvet day and don't be beating yourself up about it.
Yeah.
It's perfectly natural. It's what your body is crying out for.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's hard to do without guilt sometimes.
Sometimes it is, because the society puts it, and sometimes I think like when I was lying there, kind of not doing too much, but I think ideas are forming.
Yeah.
So it's not wasted time.
It's not
at all.
Mm.
Yeah, and certainly my dreams were more intense.
Yeah.
Be nice.
And was it? And you had the idea of contacting me, so.
Yes, which probably came in my stupor of yesterday, Mm-hmm. So it's just that receptivity, allowing it to come to you, and working with that energy. Yeah. And then as the moon comes out of the new moon phase, we start to move into the waxing.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is when the moon is starting to become a little bit more visible for us. So on the new moon, it's almost invisible. So, and then the light, this is the sun that reflects the moon. That's why we can see the moon. So the light of the moon is starting to, the moon is becoming more visible for you. And at the same time as the moon gets bigger, it's like your energy is also starting to wax in a way that you've been very introvert. So you're slowly starting to come more out. You're slowly starting to feel more hope. You're slowly starting to feel, more positivity. This is a time where you maybe see more potential. So it's like if you've been in a darker place, like mentally, this is like where you sort of come out of your bubble and you feel it's like a spring feeling. So if this space corresponds with a season, it's spring.
Yeah.
And it's also a time to, because if we go too fast, because you feel light, you feel positive, and you just do, but it's also time to protect your energy, because it's still very sensitive. These new sprouts, these new ideas, these new seeds, that's, you're starting.
Like a fragile shoot in the earth that you
Yeah, exactly.
want to stand on it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it also corresponds to your inner maiden self. So we all, even though we are in a different phase of life, we all have an inner maiden. So this is your young self, your teenager self that was, ready for life, ready for adventure. And also if we have a hard time during, if we weren't protected during that maiden time, it might be also that you feel overstimulated because you've been in this very protected space at the new moon. Mm-hmm. So you also remember to, allow yourself this new energy that's coming through you, but also make sure to not do all the action, protect
slowly and kind of gradual,
exactly
waking up into the world again, into the
And it's like, for me, I can recognize this feeling, like if I'm off grid for a while and it's like, oh, I feel more extrovert, and oh, maybe this person wants some of me, and I can, suddenly be too available, but learning to still protect.
Yes, I've done that as well, where I go, I all these ideas, and then I go and do too much, and then next thing, oh my God, what have I done? And now I can't handle all the stuff coming at me. So so learning that is a kind of there's a little danger point there that you might go and do that. So just having awareness around it, is really good.
And I can just show this little illustration. So you can see, the new moon time. You can see this is your inner wise woman. So you can see she's like wise, introvert, and what I call the inner winter. You can see new moon, and so here's the waxing moon. So this is like your inner maiden, more like springtime.
And so the moon is shaped like a C.
Exactly.
Rather than a D. Instead of Christos and Dios. Did you ever hear that saying? Christos is the C. I think it was a South American thing I read somewhere. I don't know much about it, but C. So C is waxing.
I mean, I think it's actually because of the.
Is it reversed because of?
It's
I don't think so. I think because I can read the writing.
I actually don't think so. I think.
I think I can read the writing, so I don't think it's reversed. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, because it's good to be able to recognize it visually in the sky.
Exactly.
You have your visual reminder,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that is coming out now, and then we're moving towards the full moon.
Yeah.
And often the energy can get quite intense.
Very intense.
The word lunatic comes from.
Yeah, exactly.
Howl at the moon, all this good stuff.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more. The full moon is magical. But also can be quite intense, can't it?
Very, and I guess, most people have a relationship to the full moon, and often we forget about the other phases of the moon.
Mm-hmm.
So, so the full moon is the peak of the cycle. It's like the highlight of the cycle. This is like when we're in full bloom, we're in full potential, we're out in the world, we're most extroverts. You probably heard about like full moon parties. This is a time to celebrate. And this corresponds to summer, the season summer, and it's also like the same quality as ovulation in our menstrual cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's also a time to really open your heart. You may like feel you love the world, but of course, I know, it's not always how we experience the full moon. And I feel like there's always like a sort of a portal, every full moon. And sometimes to receive that portal, maybe there's some inner work we need to do, and, feelings coming up in order to align with that portal and receive that energy that is available. And I know that people sometimes have really trouble to sleep on the full moon, and this can be because the energy can be so high. There's a lot of, we can feel like wired. There's a lot of creativity. Yeah. Can you feel?
Yeah. Totally. I'm always awake.
Yeah. And actually my advice, if this is you, of course it's like accept it. That's the first advice that, and it's not necessarily something negative, even though it can be hard not to sleep. But it's actually going back to the new moon and spending more time at the new moon to rest, because then it's easier when it comes to this high energy at the full moon. It's like, because when the energy is so high, we can easily lose ourselves in also outer expectations. We like become fragmented from ourselves. So if we spend more time at the new moon, and the same we can say about the time we bleed in the menstrual cycle, to really, allow this time to connect with yourself. It's like if you feel like you have parts of yourself that's out with your family or work, so it's like gather all these fragmented parts, gather yourself, and then it's easier to, and of course this is a practice, so it's not like happening overnight, but so then it comes to this high energy that you easier can be grounded in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And it's a great time for manifestation, isn't it?
Yes.
The full moon. Yeah. So
Yeah,
people are doing, doing your vision board, or
exactly. Yeah.
All these things, meditation, doing creative visualization.
Yeah.
These things are great things to do on the full moon.
Yeah. And it's like, on the new moon, you can set an intention. On the full moon, it's also like you say, it's manifesting, and it's also celebrate your creativity. So I've heard this, that you can do every time you ovulate. If you don't create a child, you can dedicate your egg to something creative.
Oh, so birthing something. I've been painting eggs lately. It's like the
Yeah,
alchemical
you have.
egg, and it's like I don't know where they came from, and it was it's like this potential, and it's this beautiful thing that every month you have the seed of potential that you
Exactly.
can kind of breathe life into, even if you're not breathing a physical life into it, that you breathe a creative life. I love that.
Yeah. So
Oh, I love
that's
that.
the same you can do at the full moon.
Yeah. I love that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we'll move kind of from the full moon. You're going back cycle,
Yeah.
moving around in the beautiful circle that every cycle
Exactly.
is.
Yeah. So that's the waning moon. So
Mm-hmm.
this is when we reach the peak of the cycle, and this is like when the moon starts to decrease again in size. And this is like when your energy starts to move a little bit more inwards again. It's a little bit like, when we've had summer and we come to autumn, we aren't that extrovert anymore. We're more home. We're more like our moods change. We have candle lights in the evenings. So this is like the same feeling as
Oh,
the, the
the
waning
autumn.
moon.
I love that. I love that analogy to the seasons, because it makes it much more clear to me.
Yeah,
Actually,
because everybody knows the
you
season.
kind of forget. I kind of go waxing, waning. Which one?
Yeah,
Yeah. But that really makes sense.
yeah,
It
because
is. as above, so below, of course.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
the cycle that's happening. So the autumnal lighting of the fire and sitting in with a book,
Yeah. So this is
cozy hygge.
Yeah, so this is
Yeah.
also like when we start more like a descent in ourselves. So like from the new moon and up to the full moon, we like ascend. You know, we're ascending out from the underworld, and this is like our journey back to the underworld. And with the underworld, I mean more like our um,
Mm.
unconscious. You know, like our soul self.
Mhm.
So this is a time where we also naturally meet more of our shadows, you know, like what doesn't work in our lives. So it can be a very confronting time.
Mhm.
And it's also like corresponding to the, you know, middle age phase of our life when we hit menopause and, you know, we meet, you know, we maybe grieve lost potentials. We also become very like, we don't take bullshit. So we sort out what doesn't work for us anymore. So we also become,
Lovely.
yeah, we become more into our authority and, yeah.
It's the kind of the crone energy, is it? The wisdom and the not taking any more crap.
Exactly.
Very
Yeah.
empowering. Yeah, I wish that would happen way back.
Yeah.
Thank you. So yeah, so it's so beautiful just to meditate with these energies. And myself and Karianne were chatting just before the call, and we said we might do a little meditation together.
We will. Yes.
So we'll do just, I suppose you could do this at any moon phase, this meditation. It's just bringing in, we might visualize the moon at different phases and bring the energy through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Something like that. We'll
Yeah,
get
we'll do it
a little bit.
intuitively as we work both intuitively. So,
Yeah. And shall I just show? You know,
yeah.
you see this. Yeah. This.
Oh, yeah. The inner autumn. I love that. That is a beautiful illustration, actually, isn't it, Karianne?
Yeah. Thank you.
Stunning.
And then we have the, you know, at the end of the waning moon, we have what we call the black moon.
Yeah, the dark moon or the black
Yeah,
moon.
the
Yeah.
dark moon. So this is also this time, you know, this is like, you can also say that we meet different goddesses, you know, at a different time of the cycle. So this is also when we meet the dark goddesses,
Okay. Yeah.
where we really dare to be truthful to ourselves. We meet our shadows, but also this part of us, it's like our Medusa self that don't, you know, put up with any bullshit. So it's like where we learn to also have more boundaries and, you know, our inner protector as well. And this is like, you know, can be a challenging time. And we have like an ego death as well. And then, you know, but coming back to the new moon and a new cycle again. And
yeah, it's fascinating. I'd love to talk to you more about the goddess energy. And I know you do give classes, don't you?
I do,
I
yes. I
know. Do you do them in English or just Norwegian? Or
unfortunately so far only
or Norwegian?
in
You will do them in English.
unless
So
you,
we won't go
yeah, unless we do some talks in English.
But it's so fascinating. It'd be something I'd love to do personally, and I know I'm sure a lot of people listening would as well. So hopefully someday we'll be able to do that. And
Yeah,
you'll let us know anyway, and I let you all know. So, but yeah, it's so interesting, isn't it? Just all of this.
it
But
is.
shall we go to a meditation then? And
Yes.
so
Yeah.
if people want to kind of get yourselves comfortable,
Mm.
you can do the meditation either sitting down or you can lie down. Just the thing is to make sure you're comfortable
Mm.
and that you have a little bit of space for yourself. Maybe you want to take yourself up to a room by yourself or just somewhere that feels safe and protected. And you'll have a bit of time. And if you're driving, obviously don't do the meditation. But you can just pause it and come back to the video later. And I might do is I will cut the video and I'll keep this video together, but we'll cut it and have it separately so you can do this anytime, so you can just access it very easily. So we'll do that. But this is a meditation that you can do at any time of the moon phases or any time you just feel you need a little pep in your step or just to release anything or bring something in. Okay, so just getting yourselves comfortable, and I'll let Karianne.
Yeah. So close your eyes and make sure you sit in a comfortable position. and allow your body to relax. And start to breathe all the way down into your belly. On every in-breath, imagine breathing in the wisdom of the cycle. A wisdom that already lives within you. And on every out breath, let go of worries and stress. One breath at a time. Breathe in your own moon wisdom. And out and let go. Start to notice your physical body and how your physical body feels. Is it tensions? Is it tired? Or maybe it feels good to be in your body. And see if you can meet your body with loving acceptance. Being a loving mother for your body. And let go. Start to notice your feelings and your emotional atmosphere. And meet your feelings with loving acceptance, without trying to change anything. Embrace your emotions. Start to notice your thoughts. And imagine your thoughts are drifting away like clouds in the sky. And start to let go of your thoughts. Allow yourself to become more and more present. Connect with your heart area. And imagine your heart area is becoming warmer and bigger. And out from your heart, you can start to imagine yourself in the most beautiful forests. Breathe in the energy of the forests and the fresh air. It's dark outside, and it's full of stars. In this forest, it is a clearing. And in this clearing, there's a fire. And around the fire, there's one seat prepared for you. And when you are ready, you can go and sit around the fire. Taking in this beautiful, magical atmosphere from the night sky. You can see there's other women starting to come around the fire as well. This is women from your tribe. And you are here today to honor the moon and to connect with your own wisdom of the moon cycle. Above you is the most beautiful, shining full moon.
You see the moon above your head, glowing brightly. Its energy is soft yet powerful. You feel it getting brighter and brighter, stronger and stronger. You feel your body almost like a magnet, drawn to each other, pulled together as the moon opens up its energy and begins to pour like a silver rain shower down into your crown at the top of your head, opening up your connection. You feel her energy moving around your crown area, clearing away every cell and neuron in your brain, cleansing, purifying, opening. And let her energy and her light move down now behind your third eye, the space between your eyebrows, your center of intuition and foresight. Feel that energy moving, cleansing, allowing you to see more clearly where you want to go in the world, knowing the right places to be, knowing within you the right time for you to rest, the right time to take action. Everything happens with ease. And let this moon energy move down now behind your physical eyes, cleansing and lighting your physical eyes so that you can see in the physical world where you want to go. And let this energy move through your nose, your ears, so you can hear what you need to hear in the world. Down into your mouth, your throat. Feel its blue light, blue and white light, cleansing your throat, releasing any constriction in the throat. If you feel any tightness, feel this light loosening your throat, allowing you to speak your truth in the world and allowing others to speak theirs. And let her light move down now into your shoulders, releasing any tension in the shoulders, and down further into your heart, where you feel your heart filled, expanding. Feel your heart pump her energy all throughout your body, to every blood cell, every atom. filled with the silver, powerful moonlight. Notice how that feels. And bring the energy down now into the solar plexus, the space behind the rib cage. Allow the moon and the sun to meet here, partners, touching each other. The sun and the moon in the solar plexus. They dance together in a rhythm, and you are a part of that rhythm. And thanking the solar energy. Bring that moon energy down now into the sacral chakra, just below the navel. Feel her silver light filling up the sacral area. The whole of your stomach is lit. This is your center of creativity and sexuality. Feel her light moving around, nurturing, healing. And let that energy move down further now to the root chakra at the very base of the spine. See it lighting up the base of the spine, filling up the whole pelvic bowl, allowing you to take action in the world when the time is right, knowing the right places to go, the right conversations, the right people. Everything happens with such ease. You are guided with wisdom as you walk the earth. And let that energy move down now through your legs, your thighs, knees, calves, feet, and down into Mother Earth. See its roots of light moving down into the earth, right down into the center, connecting with the earth's energy, the mother energy. And you see the roots as they spread out beneath the ground, touching the roots of all the other women around the fire. You feel connected to your tribe, to these moon women, these souls, and you feel a love radiating out through your roots, through your heart, to all that have gathered at this fire. And you feel their love returning to you. Open and accept it. Feel yourself accepting the love of the group gathered around this magical fire. And when you open your eyes, you look around the fire and you see the glistening, glittering eyes of all the women there. You look at each other and you smile. You feel fulfilled, connected, powerful. Let that energy ripple through your body, through your being, through your aura. And again, you see the moon above your head. You look up, giving gratitude. Thanking her for her beautiful energy. And slowly the women around the fire begin to disperse. into the forest, and you begin to walk down a path through the starlit forest. You hear the rustling of the leaves and the twigs beneath your feet. It's a safe space, a nurturing space, a magical healing space. You hear the footsteps of a small animal coming towards you. Look around. What animal do you see? This animal has come to give you wisdom. Allow this animal to communicate to you what it is you need to know. Perhaps the animal will whisper it. Perhaps you'll know by just looking in its eyes. Perhaps it will pass you a note. There's no wrong way to receive the wisdom. Allow yourself to receive the wisdom of the spirit animal. You look into the animal's eyes and you see its soft kindness, and you feel such a connection. You nod at each other, thanking each other. And again you begin to move along the forest path.
Breathe in all the gifts that you've received from the moon and from your spirit animal. Completely trust your own intuition. Completely trust that you received what you were meant to receive today. Knowing that your tribe of women are out there, but also that they live inside of you. Take a deep breath and breathe in the medicine that you have received today. Slowly let go of all the pictures. Slowly start to come back to your body. Feel your breath. And slowly start to come out of this meditation and open your eyes when you are ready.
That was so beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Karianne.
Yeah, thank you, Patricia.
It's hard to kind of talk after. It was so beautiful. Thank you. And I think that is, yeah, that's us. Like, you can just feel the, I can just feel the love. Sorry. It's so lovely. And yeah, it's just been so interesting to talk to you, and just to, but it's always lovely. I hate kind of, speaking to the camera on my own, and it's just so beautiful when you bounce off another person who is in your tribe, and it's just, I think it's a nicer experience for people listening as well, and just enjoy playing with the moon. And
Exactly.
enjoy, yeah, and just her wisdom and listening to your body and what you want.
Yeah. And I think this wisdom already lives within you, you know, so it's more like awakening a wisdom that is already here.
Yeah, that we've just forgotten. Hmm. Thank you so much, Karianne. And if you want to check out Karianne's work, you can go to your website, is Karianne Stenshagen. I'll put a link to it anyway on the, I'll put a little subtitle thing
Yeah.
on. And yeah, you can go visit Karianne's work, and hopefully someday in the future we'll be able to do the goddess workshop with you.
Me too. And
I
thank you
think.
for being your guest.
Thank you so much, Karianne, and thanks to everyone for tuning in. And I hope you enjoyed the recording. So, our chat. Bye.